I'm Tyson.
I'm Casey.
I'm Zeb.
And this is Into the Stream. Do I have an intro for that? Yes, I do. You think after like 20 shows, I would have that down.
We're prepared. We got this.
We got the everything that was important. We got Zeb here. We got you here.
Hey.
We got the questions that we want to ask everyone in the chat.
And Tyson's got me singing that song before the intro song, but on the back in the screen room too. So.
And E, I don't know if you saw what I said. On my side, it says "oops," subtract monkey or subtract monk. It's an emoji of a monkey, and then I said subtract monk. Then you have the E. Anyway, it was a stupid joke.
You had to explain that.
I know, I really did. Anyway, what's up, E? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, E?
How you doing? Hope you're doing well.
What's up, E-Rock?
Then we got Dan. How you doing, Dan? I'm a dork. See?
Yeah,
I thought that was clever. Jason, appreciate you. I know you're not in here, but if you watch the replay, I appreciate you doing that.
I appreciate E not putting a monkey in there when he was referencing me. So thank you, E.
Yeah, like a monkey emoji is oops.
That is a weird. I don't understand that. Right, Ross? That intro music, though.
Hey, how you doing, Ross? Appreciate you coming. Sam, hope you're doing well. You should be getting your freebie here shortly if you haven't. Rick, how you doing, man?
Hey, Rick.
Rick's been an awesome supporter. Same with Sam. It was a sneak peek of who's on. Yep, right.
I don't know if I've seen. Has Rick been in here before?
He's been watching a lot of our videos after the fact.
Okay.
So he always makes comments and everything like that. How you doing, Travis? Hey,
welcome
Bill.
in.
What's up, Travis? Bill.
Dylan, what a stud. I hope he's doing well. I hope your company's killing it too. What's up, Bearded Pamper Chef? Hope you're doing well. I work at the University of Whitting right now here in Dayton. Nice.
Awesome.
Who let this kid on?
Hey,
We have some important questions, and I really wanted him to answer for us. So I'm glad he came.
This kid's really intelligent. After that Copper Lodge, I was like, man, this Zeb he's pretty intelligent for.
Other than he hates sociology.
I hate to say kid his age. How old are you, Zeb?
I'll be 22 this summer.
Okay, you're not a kid anymore, so
he's not a kid, but yeah. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jeff.
And we got Jason McLean. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate that, Jason. I really do.
Awesome.
Who's the short guy?
That's me. My name's Zeb.
All right. So, Zeb, for those who didn't watch the Copper Lodge or who don't watch your show, please just explain to everyone and introduce yourself a little bit.
My name is Zeb. I go by Zeb Media on social media. I am currently a communications major. I'm in college to be a sports broadcaster from the Baltimore area. If you guys can't tell, huge Baltimore sports fan.
You guys stole one of my my key players.
I'm glad to have him, dude. We'll treat him well. Don't worry. We'll treat him well.
What's up, Ken?
Member of the beard community. I have a stream every Sunday called the Bearded Pack, 4 p.m. with two of my boys, JP and Ryan. And
solid guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, those are my boys for sure. Solid dudes. And yeah, like you said, I've been on the Copper Lodge with you before, and I'm glad to be here tonight. We got an interesting topic to talk about.
It is. And so I went to a barber today. I see how it is, Tyson. Thanks for the invite. Hey, Ron, you're going to get there, man. You're going to get here. No, but I went to a barber today, and I won't say the company name or anything like that, but I was a little disappointed. And I did this they said this beard exfoliation, skin exfoliation. It sounded really cool. I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. What's up? Yeah, I'll try it. They just washed your beard. They put a hot towel on you, put some type of wash in your beard, and then they put a hot towel on you. Then they walk you to the sink and have you wash it out. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm paying $35 for that. And then on top of that, you asked for a trim. Like, I didn't let her trim it because after that I didn't trust her. But then the haircut just wasn't that great either. And I'm just like, dude, So my question to you guys is it's all barber related today, just because, especially for me, it's hard to find someone that I absolutely trust and all that. So here's the thing, though. Monday, about a month ago, I was invited to teach at the it's like our Ogden uh, barber school. It's like an ATC type of school. And I posted it on Instagram on the stories. I'm going to be teaching that class twice next Monday, one in the morning, one in the evening, for an hour and a half. And they know I'm not a barber. They know I don't have any skill set when it comes to that. However, they do want to know from a beard perspective, what should their barbers know? What should you expect? What about beard products and all that, so that the barber knows when they graduate and stuff like that. So my questions are all about what should I be teaching them? What do you guys want your barbers to expect? So I want everyone's input. I want your guys' input. I'm going to be writing notes down. I'm going to go back to this replay tomorrow and be writing notes and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, what's up, Matt? So I really, really want your guys' input. So,
well, and some people might have a different perspective on what barbers should do or what they think of. So, yeah, it's awesome to have all your guys' opinions on this, and just, let us know we'll get into it here more as we go.
Yeah. So the first question, Zeb, I'm going to ask you first, and then everyone. Dead serious. I really, really want everyone in the comment section in the chat. Please give us your answer. What do you expect them to know? What do you expect your barber to know walking in without you ever talking to them, without anything? What do you expect your barber to know?
So I've been the victim of bad cuts as well, bro. I've been there. I've actually had a haircut before to where I had because I get like a straight razor shape up, and they've left like cuts going along my shape up, actual cuts in my head. So I've been pretty bad. If I'm going into a barber, let's say for the first time, right? And you're like,
just one sec, Zeb. We have another member of the bearded pack here for you.
Yep, someone else snuck in there. Oh, look
at this guy. What's up, bro?
I got some approval to come on for like a half an hour.
Awesome.
Nice.
So we just asked Zeb, and you feel free to answer after him. What do you expect your barber to know before you even walk in the door about beard care?
Ooh.
Yeah, so specifically about beard care, I mean, if you're going to be a barber, right, I'm expecting my barber, for one, knowing how to trim my beard without losing dimension and without losing shape, and kind of it's essential knowing what I'm looking for, right? If I tell my barber I just want a transparency trim, cut it off at, let's say keep the neckline and just line me up here, don't chop the cheeks down. And they say, well, what do you mean by the neckline? Where at? That's going to be a little bit of a red flag automatically, because I'm going to be like, as a barber, you should know not to lose that depth right up here. You know what I'm saying? Keep all that and go right where the neck meets. And I think that's important. And I think beard care wise, a barber should at least know the basics of keeping a healthy beard. No, you don't have to know the science of beard oil or all about beard butters and all about different conditioners or what they call co-wash and wash and all that. But I feel like as a barber, you should know to keep a healthy beard. For one, it's important to keep it nourished, whether that be oil, washing it, using butter, whatever. And it's also important to keep it clean. I feel like you should at least be able to tell your clients that and kind of give them a basis of knowledge on how to take care of it.
Okay, quick, just to kind of disagree, but agree with everything you said. I agree with everything you said. But on top of that, you said they shouldn't know necessarily maybe about beard oil and beard butter, like the ins and outs of it. But when your clientele, they're saying that more than 50% of the male population has a beard now. And if that's the case, don't you think you would want to know your clientele? Most of your clientele have beards now. So to me, you'd want to. This is your profession. To me, you would want to know the ins and outs of beard cares because that's your customer.
When I say, not in depth, I mean kind of like you don't have to necessarily be able to break down every carrier oil and explain why this benefits you this way. Like you should be able to say, well, this is why you need to use beard oil. It'll do this for you. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to explain what a butter is, but like you don't have to be a Dan C per se, I should say,
Oh no, that's a specialist. I totally agree with you there.
Know the
100%.
properties and what they can help with. Because one thing, the certain products that you use can affect how your beard styles, how your hairstyles, and that's something a stylist or a barber should be conveying to their client, is better ways to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mainly as long as he knows how to trim it right and it doesn't, mess it up. That's mainly I'm happy about. But you should have knowledge to be a full barber.
I will say before I actually joined this community and talked to a lot more people about beards, I thought barbers knew a lot more about beards than they do now. So me going into it, now I know a little bit more, but we'll say a year ago, if I stepped into a barber shop, I would just assume that barber would take care of me and, be able to make my beard look presentable without me having to tell them much. Now I know that's not necessarily true. You definitely want to have an idea of what you want when you go into the shop and be able to convey that message to your barber.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, the last time I went to a barber, literally, and I asked for a beard trim was a long time ago, but they literally took like a half inch to 3/4 of an inch off. I'm like, man, that's like 2-3 months growth for me.
Yeah.
Like I just asked for a trim, like a transparency trim. I'm just like, nah, this isn't happening again.
Rogers, real quick. It's actually it's a thought that's crossed my mind just because I'm good friends with my barber and I've talked to him about that stuff, but nothing really that I've considered seriously. No.
So yeah, for me, it's been a very long time. I've actually cut my own hair for a very long time now. I've even, as you guys can see, trimmed my beard myself, and I'm learning from my mistakes more and more what not to do. Definitely cannot touch a mustache and a beard at the same time. What's going on, Travis? But yeah, when I'll admit this, stylists know more than barbers. There's been a few times. Yeah.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I have never done.
Well, I went twice because my wife used to go to this like stylist in the city. And every time I went with her, there was a few times that like, this is when I had hair, but the 2 times I went to go get like a haircut, and I had my beard, she actually was like, hey, I have beard oil here for you. If you want to use it, I could give you like a little trim, just take like an inch off at most, because I know you probably want it. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Like, because most of the time when I go to the barbers near me, mostly they're Hispanic, so they don't understand a word I'm saying. So they want to give me that real Dominican look. No offense to anyone, but that's not my face. My face is my, the way I look, it doesn't translate to me. So it's just, you definitely have to find that place. And I think what Dancy does on the Facebook group is really cool, where you kind of find a barber that knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
I think that's a huge advantage, because for someone like me, now I might join Facebook so that way I don't ever make the mistake I made 3 weeks ago and do something altogether. Maybe I might start to look back into that and try to find someone close by in the Bronx, and then trust them enough to be like, hey, I just want a transparency trim, and they know what I'm talking about, and I don't have to go through a essay with them.
So there's
sorry. And I want to point this out. We're not trying to put any specific barbers down. There's some barbers out there that know a lot more than what we're talking about, like the general, just maybe someone coming out of doesn't have a ton of experience. I think coming out of school, they could have a little more experience with this. So
kind of to piggyback off that exactly, and not to respectfully disagree with my boy JP. I don't know if it necessarily is stylist versus barber per se, experience versus like new age, or just depending on the individual even, because I'm very particular about my barbers. My one barber that I had, his name was Q. He was my barber for throughout middle school up until, I was in high school getting ready to graduate. But unfortunately, he passed away. So rest in peace. After him, it took me like a year to find a barber, right? And I found this dude. He was, I want to say he was like in his 30s or 40s, so a little older than me, but a distinguished, like established barber, had reputable clients, was in the city of Baltimore. So what's up, man? I was seeing him and he was teaching me kind of, oh, you should try this stuff out for your beard. You should take care of it this way. If I cut it like this and I put this product in it, make sure you leave it for the day. And he was teaching me a lot. Since I lost him, I now have a guy that I went to high school with that cuts my beard, and he cuts a lot of more of a younger generation. So he doesn't have as much experience with beards. So me and him are almost kind of working hand in hand, because I'm one of the bigger beards that he cuts when I had it big and long, obviously, but we kind of work hand in hand, kind of like, helping learn the beard. And he's definitely come a long way. He's winning awards and all that now, but it depends on the individual,
I'd get nervous cutting that beard too, Mac.
Yeah, Mac, my barber has a huge beard, and he's doing it for years and years. He still gets nervous cutting my beard, but I literally tip him $50 because he's careful and knows what he's doing. That's the thing, though, is I feel like especially the people that are listening to this, that are in the chat right now, and who will be listening to it, actually care about their beards and what it looks like. They care about their grooming, all that kind of stuff, and we are willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I just don't want to go to not a podunk, just some random place and just have them trim my beard, because I'm like, dude, I represent a company and this is me and this is who I am, and I don't want you to mess up my look. And so it's important to me. And so I actually talked to Dan C and I asked him, I'm like, hey Dan, I'm going to be teaching a group in college, some barbers, and they want me to teach them about beard care. And they know I'm not a barber. And this is what his response was. He said, less is more with beards. Hair on the floor is not always a good thing.
That is some of the best advice that you could give a barber.
This is his thing. He's like, they should know that getting out of the barber school. They should just know that when it comes to beards, less is more.
Yes.
Second thing he said, on longer beards, focus on the bottom transparency. So like Casey's, just focus on the transparency. You don't really need to do anything up here.
Don't. Okay, now talking about my transparency, getting me all
Oh, not at all. That's not what I meant.
That's exactly what Zeb was saying. Focusing on that transparency and doing it the littlest bit is, you don't have to take a big chunk out to get that transparency out. You don't have to take that much. Just take the end off and just take that end a little bit off.
Fun fact, that's why I actually trim my own beard now. I don't let any barber kind of do the length of it. I do that all myself with my Brio, but I do have him do like the line up for me, but I do all the depth and stuff.
There's something about, going into a barber, especially if they're using a straight edge, to make those lines. It's gonna cut. You're gonna get a lot better line that way. Unless you have straight razor at home. I know a few guys that do that, but
yeah.
I actually do it right here on my cheeks because I have like the 10 random hairs that just grow up here.
Yeah, I have they come up like weird up here, like.
And then the last thing that he stated was, do not take the neckline too high.
Another thing I was saying, yeah.
You were saying that exactly in the green room.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You got to keep that right here.
Just do the Adam's apple. That's kind of how they say is just do the Adam's apple.
I'm actually impressed right now with mine.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Everyone's faces are different. Everyone's neckline might be but they should kind of. I would say a barber should know where that should be, where that neckline should be, and not to have to ask Zeb, well, where's the neckline? No, they should know where the neckline is.
Right. So listen to just kind of what I was telling with
Michael. Is anyone in the Louisville, Kentucky area, hit up Michael for a beard trim.
So what I was just saying is Sam, just kind of what Mac did. Mac pays $50 for his as a tip, just for his, and Sam is willing to travel an hour and a half to go get his trimmed. Yeah. It's like people are really like that, and we're all like that.
I used to go into the trenches of West Baltimore to get a good haircut, brother. So you'll do anything for a good haircut.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Hey, Michael, Louisville isn't too far for him.
Nice.
Look at that.
So yeah, hey, JP, the beard is packed. Yeah, we asked Ryan too, but he was just getting off work, so he wasn't able to make it.
Yeah.
He's got a new job, which is really cool. I'm happy for him.
I'm proud of him, man. I'm very proud of him.
Just one sec. I need to check something.
E-Rock just trimmed his beard on Sunday. It was a transparency trim. How'd that go, E-Rock?
Yeah.
I think it's also important for your barber to know how to, handle the top part of your beard too, right? Like you said, not touching it too much, but knowing it's important. That's why it's important for you to have a good relationship with your barber, because some people like that dead cutoff. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the whole sideburns thick, keeping the whole beard intact. Me personally, since I do like the kind of line shape up, I like to blend it in. So it's really important for you to have that relationship so they know, like, see, he does it perfect for me now.
Yep.
That's why it's important to really be able to conversate and talk freely and just describe everything you exactly want to your barber.
Absolutely. And that we're going to hit that at the very end of kind of like that type of stuff. But the next question, so this is the question that we just asked you guys, is what do you expect them to know before you even see them? So now the question is, what should they know? Like we talked about what they expect, but now let's talk reality. What should they know?
And
I came up with three things.
I already hit a couple of that was points in when we were talking before, so I'm sorry. I was jumping ahead again.
I think they should know how to really observe the shape of your face. I don't think that's like mentioned enough because like I said, with my experience, because I live around a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, they expect to do it like that for everyone. And it's like, well, I'm a white man, like my face is very different from yours. How that looks on you is not going to look good on this round face, So I think they need to look at those things and really sit down and evaluate, like, is this the best look for this person? And then go from there. I think that's the first thing.
What they should know is when you mean don't take too much off, not to take too much off. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think they don't know that. Just what Dan said is, less is more. You don't have to see hair on the floor in order for it to mean anything. Because I mean, just a half inch shapes your face completely different than what it was originally. Yep. Shape of the face, also the balance of the haircut.
Yep.
There you
go. And I kind of touched on this before. And maybe this is something they do teach, and I don't know this, but Michael would know. Dave probably would know where the neckline should be established on each different person, or where that cheek line should be. Those are all things that a barber should know before they're going in. Not necessarily how you want it done. Yes, they should respect that, but they should know how to do it before you tell them what to do. Where to have those proper lines.
Hey, I'm turning you on mute real quick, John. There you go.
I don't think he cares.
One thing that I put what I thought is they should know probably. Is combs. The one thing that I noticed when I go in there, they start combing your hair. It's either like a plastic one and all that, and it starts tangling up, and you're like, dude, don't you're damaging my hair. Just go soft, man. Go soft and slow. And I think they need to know that combs matter. And I even told the barber today, I'm like, you guys should invest in a wooden comb or a Chicago comb, something that isn't going to be having a lot of static and pull, because you're killing me because your face is sensitive.
That's a good one.
Face is one of the most sensitive parts of your body. So
no, that's a good one.
Listen to the customer and don't be afraid to ask questions to the customer. Michael said, if I can't see the neckline, I don't touch it unless it's growing into the chest.
Oh, that is unbelievable. See, but obviously he's a barber and he knows what he's doing. Yeah. He needs to train some barbers.
Michael might be a good one to talk to.
Actually, Michael, I can't. Do you have my email? Can you write my email down there?
I can.
Casey?
Yeah.
and have him email me. I actually have a couple of questions for him. I agree. You should shape up with me. Yep. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so I have a
That's gonna
couple
get
things.
posted like 3 times now.
I feel like kind of I'll start with to piggyback off what you guys said, knowing different face types. What about different hair types? Like you said, a Hispanic type of hair texture is going to be different from an African American hair texture, which is going to be different from a white person's hair texture. So it's all going to be different. So it all has to be cut differently. And another thing that I think they should know, just to get technical, like the numbers, certain terms that you ask for. Like if you ask, this isn't necessarily beards, but like if I want a bald fade and I want I want a mid bald fade, they should know exactly what I'm looking for. If I say I want to keep this as a business beard, but just cut my flyaways, they should know exactly what I'm talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they should know a lot of the terminology that's commonly used, and also the different styles.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're right. There's a lot of different terms that we use with beards, that aren't necessarily hairstyle, whatever. But it's smart for them to know those terms so that they can transform that into a good trim for you.
Right.
Do you, so Michael, everyone in chat, Zeb, everyone, John, Casey, do you think they shouldn't? Yeah, I'm just telling everyone, I'm just going. Do you think, first of all, they need to know anything about skincare when it comes to facial hair?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How so?
This is another problem I've had, is that when they do certain cuts, because my skin is very sensitive, so when they use certain blades and I try to instruct them about that, they don't listen and they still cut me, and then my skin will be irritated like that.
See, that's
and
a great
I know
example.
my skin. I know my skin, so that's why, like, when I shave my head, I have sensitive razors. I have the sensitive blade for the skull shaver, because I know my skin gets very irritated after a cut, especially if it's with certain blades. So that's just me personally. But when I try to tell them that, some of them don't listen and they'll just go right ahead and use their regular razors. And I'm like, well, now I'm going to be the one that suffers.
And it's true, because I've seen that. Like today, like I was telling you, I did that little weird beard exfoliation because I was really curious. I'm like, this actually sounds really healthy. And she was freaking yanking me. And I'm like, dude, my freaking skin is sensitive. Stop it. You know what I mean? I didn't say it that way or anything, but I'm like, come on. It's like, shouldn't you guys be expected to know this? This is your job. This is your profession.
Well, and with skincare, it can determine how your beard grows and what kind of a beard you have. And as barber, I think that's smart for a barber to help their client try to grow the best beard possible, if that's what they're trying to do. Us in the beard community, obviously, we have a little more passion about our beard care than some, but you should be able to relay the right information to your client so that they can grow the best beard possible too.
And yeah, that's your barber's job, right? I mean, his job
right.
isn't, well, his or her job isn't just necessarily to cut your hair or cut your beard. It's they got to take care of you when you're in that chair, man. I mean, you're literally at the mercy of that barber. They're putting a razor to your face, to your neck, to your head. So, you're putting a lot in their hands, and that's why it's important to also know about skincare if you're a barber, because a lot of these things you're doing can, they deal with people's health. Like, it's not just people's looks, it's people's health. If you're using a straight razor and it, affects someone's skin a certain way, you need to know how to take care of that. If you have a reaction to a certain barbicide or anything like that, you need to know how to take care of that. So it's really
what products to use to kind of relieve some of that, with the sensitive skin. Maybe there's certain products you can use after to help with some of that or to help prevent some of that. So,
well, and I'll actually go to my barber before I knew what I was doing. I'm like, what's popular, what's good, what will look good on me, and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes they're like, just wing it, and I'm like, no, that's not what I asked. But right here, Michael says I shave it like a hedge, mostly freehand, which is amazing. because most barbers will take their little machine or little trimmer and do it that way. And I'm amazed at my coworkers that don't know much about beards, and the worst beards in the name of the shop. Yeah. And then also he goes, all he asked for consultation. Yeah, consultation is the most important part.
Yep.
You got to know what we want. As a customer, just kind of what Zeb was saying. This is us. I mean, this is us. This is our personality. This is who we are.
Barbering is a service.
Don't worry about it, John Paul. Appreciate
and
you.
And along with that service, it's not just getting someone in and out of the chair, like Zeb was saying. It's building a relationship with that customer. I guess if you want them to come back, a smart barber would build a relationship, try to help them as much as possible, try to show them the things to do to maybe help with some of the issues that they're having. Those kind of things. Be a service. Don't just be a worker. Be a service worker.
Absolutely.
And as a consumer, a good tip that I want to tell everyone here is if you're not comfortable when you go to see your barber, you don't have the right barber.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't go in there and feel like you're sitting down and going, I'm about to get a nice cut, I'm going to feel good, I'm going to look good after this, and you're relaxed and you're at peace, you just let them do their thing. If you go in there kind of nervous and stiff and you're not knowing, how you're going to feel about it after, you're not at the right barber.
Yeah.
Michael P. agrees. Facts. What's up, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
And that's all right, John Paul. We understand completely. Thanks for hanging out with us while you could.
Yeah.
All right. So what about everyone in chat and Zeb and everything, what do you guys ask your barbers when you get your beard trim? What should we ask?
It depends a lot on the type of beard you have, right? I mean, are you talking about before or after the trim?
Everything is before. So we talked about what they should know before they see you, what they should, what you expect them to know, what they should know, and now we're going to ask them now, what do we talk to them about when we see them?
If it's a new barber, maybe you ask them, if you have like a beard like Casey, you should probably ask them, have you ever trimmed or cut a beard this big before? And if
that's actually important.
Yeah, if they are experienced or if they're professional, they won't mind you asking that. Even if they haven't, they'll tell you like up front. So that's probably a good place to start.
and a good barber
That's
will take that question, and a good barber won't say, won't look down on it. There probably are some that you say, have you ever cut a beard like this? They'll be like, oh, come on now, man. But you got to feel comfortable. That goes back to feeling comfortable with your barber. Like Zeb was saying, if you're not comfortable, it's probably not the right one for you.
Yeah, Vato I was agreeing with. Casey was talking about this specifically, how we need to get Vato on here and talk about this.
Yeah,
because Vato knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, the main thing that you ever asked my barber before is just kind of confirm that they know exactly what you're going for. Just try to really relay that message. If you're like we've said, a lot of times we go in there looking for a transparency trim or just a little bit off the bottom, right? And they take 2 inches off and you end up not being happy with it. So really just kind of convey to them like, all right, so I only want right here cut off, right? Show them in the mirror, kind of make sure you really describe and clarify that they know what you want.
And what do you think, Casey?
Yeah, definitely don't hold back. Make sure you tell them exactly what you want. Go in knowing what you want. You should probably think about it, especially if you really care about your beard. Don't just randomly walk in and say, okay, this is what I think I want. No, you should know what you want, so that you can convey the right message to your barber.
What was that?
Use pictures. Take your phone.
Pictures. Yeah.
Show them pictures. We have so much access to stuff now.
Be very specific.
Yes, be very specific.
Yep.
Show
pictures. That was the thing I was saying. Just be very, very specific
and understand that picture.
Make sure they understand.
I'm sorry, Tyson. Understand that pictures, that face is not just like yours. So they might have to, modify it a little bit to fit your face structure.
Oh
yeah, and that's good.
See, Michael knows
That's
what
a good
he's doing.
barber. He's someone that's already preparing themselves for that, for stuff like that. Yeah, 100%.
See, and I think where I live, beards are relatively new and relatively being accepted now, and so I think a lot of the barbers really don't have experience. Like maybe you go to Chicago or L.A. or Baltimore, where they might be a little bit more prevalent. But so I think a lot of what Michael's saying is they might not have any of that because they don't have that experience.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do know that. Oh, how am I going to put this? I'm not going to even talk about it, so don't worry about it.
And there's a lot of barbers in the Salt Lake City area, and there's probably a lot of great barbers in Salt Lake City area. But finding that barber, that's the thing. I mean, it's to search for that the right person, and just knowing that you're comfortable is important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I've told you guys, I went a year or 2 years between barbers trying to, just bounce around between guys, trying to find the right guy. And sometimes that's what it takes. I mean,
yeah,
as much as it sucks and as much as it sucked for me, sometimes you just have to go different places and give it a shot and go out on a limb, because that's the only way you're going to find out.
Well, I'll say this, and this is what I was going to say is there's cultures around the world that shave their beards differently. And so there was one time where I went and this lady was from South Korea, and they cut beards super low. And I'm like, I just want to trim. And, if you can just make sure that my cheek line is nice and cut nice and clean. And next thing I know, as I walk out, and it's super low. And I thought I was being very specific, but I wasn't. And it wasn't on her. She could barely speak English, and it was my fault. But it's just like there are cultures out there that do their beards differently. So like you said, specific pictures, all that kind of stuff.
The whole cultural thing that JP was talking about too, a little bit with his.
It's it kind of also, like I said, goes hand in hand with knowing textures, because like like I said, someone of an Asian descent is going to have different hair than someone of an African descent, different than a Caucasian descent. It's all different, and in that same bubble, different barbers of different descents are going to cut hair different, because that's just where they come from. That's what they learn. So personally, though, to be honest, I've never had a white barber, actually, which is the funny thing.
Nice. Yeah. So Michael, going on with what Nicholas said, it says, so does your company that you work for, or unless it's your store, your barbershop, do you guys have a website or an app and all that where you can actually attach your picture, so when people are browsing online, they can see what you've done? Because I know a lot of people do that now, and it really does help the potential customer or client to come to you. I don't know, just a thought.
Big one's Instagram. Yeah,
Instagram's huge.
Instagram's
a lot of times though, you'll go to a barbershop app, and you'll, as you're going through the app and you're looking at who you want to get, what type of beard trim. Okay, this is the person I want to go to. You can link to the pictures from their Instagram, and it's just there, so you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Almost every bearded guy I've cut have said that they had a barber mess it up and never wanted a barber trim it again. I was one of those guys. That's why I became a barber. See?
Hey, nice.
I think all of us, I don't think I've ever had a good beard trim. I'm not lying.
Yeah, I've had a few good beard trims, but like I said, even now I have a barber that is a great barber.
Yeah.
Shout out to the barber Paul, but I only let him line me up. I do all this myself still. You get scarred for life. You get traumatized.
To be completely honest,
really do.
I don't think I've ever had a beard trim from a barber. I've never been to a barber for a beard trim ever in my life.
Have you ever let them put beard oil in your beard? Neither have I.
No.
Like,
I'm the only one who's put beard oil in my beard.
Right, like just take beard oil and just start rubbing it into my face.
No, like when you get a trim, they have their own beard oil, kind of like they do with their hair, and they get it all styled.
The only thing I get is like Barbicide on the lineups. But
Tyson brought the little hands. He's like, "Can you use these?"
I did. just call me. Let me just adjust my microphone. But those are kind of the questions that I had, and I really wanted to know what everyone's thoughts were when it comes to that kind of stuff. With all these bad experiences, this is why I do everything myself. No, that's the truth. That's why I do everything myself.
Well, and it's important to know what you're walking into, and to know that you need to watch it, because we care about our beards, and anyone that has a beard should care about their beard. So going into a barber,
Thank you,
you
Brian.
should know what to expect, or what you should know. That's kind of why we're doing this too. One is to help, maybe barbers think about this a little differently, but two, helping you guys think about it differently, and kind of knowing what to expect when you go in. So
What about experiences from the barber? Like when you go to the barber, even if you're not getting a beard trim, but you're just getting a haircut, does that experience matter to you guys? Does it matter that you have the same experience going on every time? I mean, seriously, does that matter?
Real quick, I just saw Sam ask, "MI is Michigan?" If I am
Yeah.
correct, he asked Michael if he's in Michigan. That the barber map on Dan's Facebook page would probably be great for you, Sam, because Dan's actually in Michigan, so I'm sure there's actually probably a lot of Michigan barbers on there, or maybe
good.
even ask Dan
Good point.
just to help you out. For me personally, I've said this on Cruz's channel.
Sorry, this made me laugh. Speaking of bad experiences, let me Taco Bell for dinner.
Yeah, don't let all these bad experiences scar you guys either. Like I said, I know Jeff said this is why I do everything myself, but like right before that, Brian said I've had 2 beard trims and I loved them both.
Right.
I know it can be traumatizing, guys, but there are good barbers out there. There are guys that know.
There's amazing barbers. The thing is that's what I'm saying is like and even the ones that maybe you've had a bad experience with would have been better if you were able to communicate, show pictures, show them exactly what you're expecting, and give them instruction, because they're there to help you. You're paying them to help you. So
yeah, that's what I was trying to say is, just because you go into a barber doesn't mean they're going to know everything. You got to relay that message and convey the right message so that you can get the right trim. So don't be scared of going into a barber. You can find the right barber. You just got to, sometimes it's a search.
Yep. And for your question, Tyson, is about the experience. I said this on Cruz's channel before when we were talking about mental health. Actually, going to the barbershop for me is like a calming, refreshing experience. Like going to the barbershop literally like calms me down and makes me feel good. Like it gives me good feeling endorphins. I go in there. It does help that I know my barber. I went to high school with him, but that's why I was saying, even if you just
that way you feel more at ease to communicate your what you want.
Exactly. So even if you just have a barber you're comfortable with, when I go in there, I sit down, I feel the razor on my head, I feel the straight razor. I know that I'm about to look good. I'm about to be way more confident. That experience is really important for me because it's a big self-confidence booster and it's a big stress reliever, just sitting in the barber chair and getting that trim.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and again, this wasn't a bash. Like no barbers. We haven't spoke to anyone about barbers or anything like that. Or any specific names or companies. It's just what I want to know what we should expect out of our barbers. What should we tell them? All that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But yes,
Ken just said it perfectly. That was so perfect, Ken.
Exactly, that was perfect timing. It
is therapeutic.
That is
one of the best things is a scalp massage when you get your hair, washed.
I love the hot towel and scalp massage. Yes,
I don't get all that done anymore. I don't. My barber I get the normal shape up, the barber side, and all that. He doesn't do all the extra stuff. But
the hot towel. Yeah, I could take a nap quick while they're doing that. That's nice.
I start rolling.
Yeah.
When someone comes to me and wants to grow out, I'll clean it up and tell them the next time they come and bring a picture of the style they want to go for long term. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a great question or a great statement, because I did go to a barber where she did not want to trim it because I wanted it longer. She's like, "Hey, just your transparency, maybe just a little bit," and she really didn't. You really couldn't tell a difference, and I thought that's a good trim.
And that's taking
that. Yeah, go ahead, Casey. I'm sorry.
Taking care of your customer. That's thinking about him the next time. You're not just doing it now. You're thinking about the next time already for him. So that's a good barber right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's kind of all what I had for tonight. So go Saints.
Go Saints. Now we're gonna get into a football debate here.
No, I just thought it was funny.
Off what you said though, it is important for a barber to know when to pull back as well, right? Or when to say,
Yeah.
because that
Makes you trust them.
Exactly, yeah, because that way maybe they're not just trimming you to get money to get you to come back or to cut that hair off. They're gonna say, hey, we need to wait. I don't want to touch this yet. Just come back next time. We can wait, and they're patient and they'll work with you. That's a good barber.
Yeah, and I trust her. And then what's funny is I went in for the second time, and she had moved to a different barbershop, and I didn't know where. I'm like, sadness.
Yeah.
JP, don't worry about that though, because we understand you got other stuff you got to do. So thank you
Sam,
for joining.
We're not talking about that. No.
Does anyone else in chat have any other questions or anything else they'd like to? You guys were awesome with your comments this time. So, but if there is anything else you guys want to bring up, go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, I just feel like even what they're watching on TV matters to me. Like, I've walked into barbershops where there's kids and they're watching SpongeBob and I'm like, I'm not, and then I'll go in and where the barbers are in their own little room watching a scary show and they're not really out with the people. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like the ambiance and what they're watching and how they're presenting themselves matters.
That goes with that overall experience, right? Of you being there. And
I don't know why I'm like bougie when it comes to barbers.
Applebee's, huh?
Yeah. If you are not an Applebee's barbershop, we're not going.
Should you be styled before going to the barbershop?
That is a good
question. That is a very good question.
Michael, what do you think? Sam?
What would you say, Zeb?
So this is what the one barber that I had told me. If you're going to go get a cut and you want your beard lined up or, trimmed or whatever, style it the way you normally would, but without product, without oil. And the reason he told me that was because he said with his razor or his straight razor, the oil does make it obviously makes your skin a little oily. Yeah. And if you don't, it kind of leaves the skin dry to where he can kind of get a better edge, I guess, with that razor. Maybe Michael can touch this if this is true. I'm not a barber, so you can let me know if this is true or not, Michael. Maybe it's easier for them to use that razor with its if it's not a slick surface, but completely style it to where you normally would. Yes, that way they know what to go off of.
And to add to that, I guess my thoughts on it were I thought oil was all right, but don't use butter or other products on top of that. But the way I've heard it was oil was all right. I don't know. Maybe Michael can add to that.
Yeah, so I'm not a barber either. That's just one thing that I've heard. It may not really even affect it, but
because I know like the butter and some of the other products, waxes, can affect the tools and how they work. Yes, kind of like just like you were saying, Zeb, with the straight razor. So
yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead, Tyson. Sorry, no,
I was going to do something stupid, so I was just like, make sure that they have the hands to be able to to hold the scissors.
Hey, and it's very important for your guy's barber to know about
beard oil.
That's perfect.
I had to give you one. I had a quick question though about barbers for you guys, and maybe also anyone in the chat. This is a interesting one. Is it important for you guys when you go to a barber? Is it important for that barber to have went to barber school, or are you okay with them learning on the job or doing an apprentice or being self-taught? Or does your barber have to have that degree?
If you're an apprentice or an internship, don't you have to have been going to school?
My barber did not go to barber school.
I think for the state of Utah, and this is just I'm talking
maybe
specifically for the state of Utah. In order to deal with a straight edge razor, you have to have gone through barber school.
Okay.
But that's just the state of Utah. I don't know the rules elsewhere.
besides the legality of it, let's just go to personal preference, right? If you had a guy that you saw on Instagram
Thank
or
you,
whatever, or you saw his portfolio and you were impressed with it, but he hadn't went to barber school, would you still get that haircut?
If he does the job, and I'm yeah, absolutely.
Experience anymore these days, I think experience counts more than schooling in some things anyway, because you can get a lot more hands-on training just makes a big difference.
It's very possible too that he did an apprenticeship and is doing school on the side. Like I said, I'm not really into the gist of it. I just get my haircut there. I just get a haircut there. That's it.
And
It seems like everywhere it's the same. That in order to be a barber, use straight edge razor, you have to have gone through barber school. Like you have to get your own personal license and all that kind of stuff, your own business license, all that usually for the state of Utah.
And I think everyone saw Michael's answer there, right? Before you pulled it down, as long as it's not a heavy product, because you won't get a clean cut. So yeah,
Right. Okay.
Yep. Thank you again, Michael, for that.
Yeah. Thanks for being everyone for joining us today. Appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome conversations tonight. That was awesome. Great. The comments from chat was amazing. So thank you guys.
Great feedback and great. I think that's kind of what I was looking for. What about what should be on TV? I know it's a stupid question, but when you go to a barbershop, what do you want to be on the TV?
Sports.
Really? Even if it's
say that,
huh?
I said I knew Zeb was going to say that.
I know, no, but most guys do.
I don't watch sports a ton, but I think I'd rather have that on than SpongeBob for sure. To me, I don't know if that it really matters what's on the TV because I'm usually not watching it much anyway.
Well, you're blind like me, and so as soon as you take that off, you can't see crap anyway.
Off, I can't see. So exactly. But when I'm sitting in a chair getting a haircut or whatever, I'm more focused on watching what they're doing because I want to make sure that they're doing the right job, I guess.
Yeah.
That's cool. No TV, just radio. No TV, pricey shop. See, and never thought, I've been a lot of the high-end barbershops here in Utah, they all have TVs, so that's why I asked.
Russ, specifically, I'm open to doing any, sports. I like most sports. Typically, I guess mostly I should say I would like to do football, MMA, and baseball. That probably would be my top 3 if I could pick. But I mean, I'm not opposed to doing anything.
That's cool. Yeah, you and Aaron, I think that's going to be fun. See where you guys go in the next few years.
I see Sam's part of the blind club as well when he takes the glasses off.
Yeah. It sucks.
It does. I've thought about laser treatment just because I'm tired of these things sometimes.
I've heard good things. It's just I have so many children.
Yeah.
I can't afford it.
Right. Good music for sure, Michael says. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. There's got to be something in the background. It can't be just dead silent,
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I agree with that completely.
Man,
hey, what's up, man?
I don't know about you guys. What's up, Cruz? In my barber, everyone is in there talking, hanging out, like kind of just joking around and stuff. So it's lively in there too. It's never quiet.
See, but that's what I mean. It's like, but you always want to be able to have the same experience, and you have to have the same people there and the same group. You know what I mean? It's like when you go there, you want to have the same experience, the same vibe, the same ambiance. It's important to me and important, I think, to everyone else.
100%.
But dude, Zab, you're freaking amazing. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Zeb.
Hey man, shout out to you guys. You guys are the studs here.
Oh, whatever. I think I'm excited, like I said, to see where you go in your life, and we're definitely going to have you on again. I think you're very intelligent, and it's fun to have you on.
Yeah, man.
You're very well spoken. That's a talent, man.
Well spoken. You've got a lot of good things in your head for 22 years old. So
no
I better be well spoken. I'm majoring in communications.
Right.
I better be able to speak. No, but honestly, no. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you asking me to come hang out tonight. This was a cool topic to get to talk about. So And
yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
just
will.
feel like a lot of us have experienced some bad experiences through barbers, and I'm like, a lot of it I think is just because of lack of communication between the barber and the person getting their beard trimmed. I really do think that. I think there's a lot of good barbers out there that don't know what they're doing because the communication isn't being told what to do.
Yeah, be specific. That last topic we hit, be specific with your barber. Convey a clear message to them on what you want. Thank
So,
you, John.
yeah,
yeah,
man, hey,
thank you, everyone.
it's not like we won't be in contact soon, Tyson. I'll be talking to you soon, brother.
Yeah,
We talk on the regular now, so you know what I'm saying.
we do. Need a shoe polish. Well,
Yeah, talk to my boy Casey more, man.
dude, that would actually be killer. I actually think that's a really fun idea. No joke. I think going into that in a classy place, and while you wait, they have someone shining your shoes, dude.
I used to work in a shoe store where we had to shine everyone's shoes. Not complete, not like polish shine, but we had to clean them all up every time there was a customer in. We had
Is
to
that
clean
what you
them
do
up.
at your gas station?
No, I do not. No, I left that with the shoe store that I was working at.
He has like one of the old timey seats out front by the front door. Hey, buddy, you want to come get a shoe polish?
He talks like that too.
Yeah, right.
And he has a big cigar. Hey, see?
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, good times. But well, I appreciate you. It's about Beard Advice Live is about to start.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
Zeb, is there anything else you want to say to everyone before we take off?
No, thank you guys for the continued support, man. I've received nothing but love and support since I've come into this community and since I've been kind of doing my streaming thing from you two on the screen and from everyone in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys. And this topic is interesting because we'll actually kind of be talking about this topic on the Bearded Pack this Sunday. We'll be doing a review of some Brio products. So come check us out this Sunday at 4 p.m. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great timing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's almost eerie.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, Casey, do you have anything else before we take
No,
off?
no. Once again, thanks for everyone for the awesome feedback, and thank you, Zeb, for joining us tonight. It's been awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think this was a great topic, and you guys in chat, Zeb, Casey, you guys were amazing today. I actually learned a lot, and I'm excited to go teach the barbers a little bit about what bearded men feel. And, so I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you all.
See ya.
ya.